and oil or turkey that actually left your hand feeling like you had been working on a car. So what did they serve to drink? Juice? Water? Water? Who drinks water? No, we had Pepsi, and lots of it. Now this wasn't sweet, delicious, thirst-quenching Pepsi. No, it was one of those various incarnations of diet, light, sugar-free, zero-calorie, zero-taste Pepsi. And then we shared one can at a time. Drink a Pepsi here, boss. Well, that's to be expected. We all know that my parents are such health nuts. So as you look at the decadence around you, you can see that we weren't exactly hard up for money, but one of the many values my parents modeled was to buy food as though there was a war on. I guess at this time they had the crisis in the Falklands in mind. We all remember the rations during the Persian Gulf. That happened, right? We weren't just told that. Now the courage of these two went beyond stepping foot in this mobile loony bin. I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, surely these people are going somewhere close. What fool or what saint would stay a moment longer in this van than needed? No. My parents would take us for a 10-hour drive to Maine. The phrase, sheer tyranny of will, comes to mind. Now, along this drive, we had 3 or 4 particular stops that we would make. We rarely deviated from these places as they had the cheapest gas and they could handle the physical and emotional burden of dealing with our family every summer. My father would herald the approach of one of these many pit stops with the same question every single time. How's everyone's kidneys? He would look back at us, we were all cross-eyed and sweaty, not caring about kidneys or whatever, some sort of biological approach. It was in Maine that my parents' relationship was strong enough to withstand isolating our family in a small house on a lake for literally months at a time. Through some uncanny division of labor, they managed to keep the children relatively docile, but all activity took on a monastic quietude when my father would take a business call. I can remember him sitting at some flimsy plastic coffee table talking with someone from work, and then my brother and I guess mostly me, would come tearing through the kitchen screaming for dear life. In a simple but effective movement, my father would snap his fingers at us. Now that snapping was like a deafening sonic boom that would bring us to our knees, dazed and probably concussed. While he would be taking calls, my mother would watch us swim in the pond or take us to the library. When one of the children would be at risk of drowning at the hands of another, my mother would call out, Bill, Steve, Bill, Jake, Tutto, Jim, Alice, Bill, as she was talking to me. Passing fishermen probably thought that they were being yelled at. My father would in turn take us for hikes out at the family woodlot, itself a malarial wilderness of which nightmares are made. You know, regular family fun. So I can only imagine the waves of exhaustion washing over each one of them as they watched the spouse drive off with what you might call children. Earlier I asked if it was perhaps some Christ-like humility that summed up their relationship. I can only think that humility is the word, as each of them was gifted with such brilliant and opinionated children, not to mention their spouse. Who doesn't want to hear every day how long refrigerator doors should be kept open? Wouldn't you like to know that you're walking too heavily upstairs? Wouldn't you be thankful someone in your life is trying to keep the temperature in the house at some homicidally freezing low so that you might know the value of $1? Ultimately, I guess I do have to settle on love. My parents live loving lives. They've been married for 40 years. My older sisters are 33, so you can do the math pretty quick, and realize that Mary and Steve had 7 good ones in there. My youngest sister effectively moved out 4 years ago, so now they're up to 11. That kind of perseverance doesn't go unnoticed. Moreover, they have produced a set of kids whose educations amount to the annual budget of certain developing countries. One misguided PhD, one ruthless lawyer, one feckless financier, and 2 noble but pathetic teachers. One of whom, I might add, can craft a truly captivating speech. Truly captivating speech. Millie and Vicky are both married now, and Bill's around the corner. They probably have a better understanding of what my parents' love truly is than I do. They can recognize that there are tough times, but the thought of 40 years is still breathtaking. My parents know that love is to look beyond your own needs. They can see that the growth of those you care for pays better dividends than any personal gratification. I am in awe of their love, and tonight I think we should all raise a glass and toast two people who have always done the right thing and have always done that right thing the right way. Cheers. All right, God bless. So we'll put the music back on and we'll have, you'll be escorted up to the buffet. Right, and we'll move from there. Okay.
Yes.